All right, fellas, we covered the big deals that happened before the trade deadline, but how about some of the under-the-radar deals, the stuff that people aren't talking about on day one? Grant, what's the best under-the-radar deal that you saw before this deadline?
So I'm going to cheat here, and I'm going to mention two.
Okay.
Is an automatic cheat?
Fair.
Like I'm the one starting it off, and I'm going to cheat here. But first of all, I do want to give some credit to Kobe White and the Hornets deal that they made, because the Hornets are one of the most fun teams to watch. If you haven't gotten a chance to watch the Hornets play offense, woo, that's fun. And B, they added a guy who's just really an underrated player that just is a very good offensive weapon. And they just added a guy. They pretty much upgraded what essentially is Colin Sexton to Kobe White. And while they get to, watch him and see what they want to do about him in his free agency, et cetera, at the same time, they're saying, hey, let's make a little run at this. Let's have some fun. Let's try to get into the play-in or the playoffs and see what we can do. So I think that's an under-radar move. But the reason I want to pivot to this other deal is because we're talking about a team that's contending, and that is Jose Alvarado to the New York Knicks. Jose Alvarado is criminally underrated in terms of just what he brings to a game. It's not even about stats. And actually, I think his stats are better than people have given him credit for in the past too. But what he brings to a team on the court, the energy, he is one of those guys. And I've said this about TJ McConnell in the past. One of those guys that he enters the game, you feel him automatically. You just feel him. He's there, and he's going to make his presence felt. And I think the New York crowd is going to love him, and I think the team will love him. And I think he just brings an element of feistiness and temper and just up-tempo basketball that I think is going to play really well in New York. I think is an incredible, incredible trade. And I know I'm making it out to be a big deal because I do think it's a big deal. I think this is a team that can use that infusion of energy. And I think that one to me is the trade that people are going to look back in the playoffs and be like, man, Alvarado, ooh, he had that game.
Well, they need him too. Deuce McBride being
out.
Well, that's a key part, which, by the way, interesting after the trade happens that we find out about Deuce McBride. But anyway, the point is that I really love that trade for the Knicks.
And it's a homecoming. He is a Queens kid who went to Christ the King's High School in New York. New York is going to love the New York hometown kid coming in and being, just like you said, the energy guy off the bench who just changes things. And the first time he makes one of those Grand Theft Alvarado steals in the backcourt for a bucket, Madison Square Garden's just going to go ballistic.
So give me your under the radar team.
It's kind of a big name in one sense, but I think it is Ivica Zubac because it's not a trade for this year. In fact, he may have a mysterious, is he going skiing this weekend? Is there anything we can do? The Pacers need to keep that pick as high as they can. They got the third worst record. You're not going to see a lot of Zubats this year. But he is a very good big on both ends of the floor in terms of finishing. We've said, James Harden made him look good. Tyrese Halliburton's going to make him look good. That is a good passer who plays with space, who finds the roll guy. And for Indiana, who struggled defensively even in the year they went to the finals, he is a huge upgrade over what Miles Turner brought over. They don't really have anybody like that now. Zubats is a very good defender, not going to get the stats, but he is kind of old school, like when Marc Gasol won Defensive Player of the Year. He is big. He knows how to be in the way. He uses that size to really clog up and not knock people out of the paint, but make you alter shots. That's going to be huge for them next year. I really like that pickup for a Pacers team that we all kind of thought already was going to return to form next year.
Grant, before I move on to mine, what do you make of what the Clippers are getting out of these deals? We've seen them kind of reboot over the last 24 hours.
I think the Clippers made out great in that deal. And that's not to say that either team lost because of that. I think both teams won. I think both teams have other things that they need to take care of, and they did it in this deal. But those are very valuable picks.
Yeah.
Because either you're getting a pick that's a draft pick that's between 5 through 9 in a very good draft, or you're getting an incredibly valuable 2031 unprotected pick. Just a reminder for those fans that front offices evaluate first-round picks based on unprotected or not unprotected, but also the further out you go, the variance makes it probably more likely that they're more valuable. So you're getting as far out as possible away from Tyrese Halliburton, away from his age, and you're trying to get away from the part where everyone's in their prime. This is a team that will get expensive too. So again, that's the way you value these things. I think the Clippers did a really, and by the way, whatever you think about Benedict Mathurin, you know, whatever you like him or you don't like him, it's worth the flyer. Like if you're doing this, you're getting those 2 picks. Why not put a young player next to Darius Garland? Again, give Ty Lue an option. I love Ty Lue's ability to work with players like this. I think the Clippers did great. I think the Pacers did a really good job preparing for next year. I just like the trade.
I want to give the Clippers a little credit just because they looked at the West, they looked at who they had, even with this 17-5 run, and said, we're not winning this thing. Mm-hmm. Like, we are what we are.
James Harden also helped that along the way.
Yeah,
helped
exactly.
push that along.
I know. Yeah, it is. But even if they'd kept it all together, they knew what they were, they knew where they were going, and they realized if we can pivot now, if the deals are better to pivot now, why are we waiting? Yeah. What are we getting out of waiting? And so they moved.
And one quick thing also, the Clippers really started this run when Zubac was out. And Zubats was missing, and Brook Lopez steps in, and what they ended up doing is spreading the ball a little bit more, and they actually had to change the way they played when Kawhi and James were on the floor versus Zubats, and they had to play through Zubats when he was on versus off. I think this gives them more of a clear identity of like, hey, let's just spread this thing out and let's have some fun.
All right, my under-the-radar deal, and I can't believe this deal and how they pulled it off. Oklahoma City getting Jared McCain for like nothing. First-round pick, the 2026 Rockets first-round pick, 3 seconds, big deal. Getting another free player. Like, here's Jared McCain, who, before the injury last season, looked like a Rookie of the Year guy. Yeah. Had some injury issues at the start of this season. He is a 38% career three-point shooter. I think they could use something like that in Oklahoma City. They get another second-year guy, big guard wing type player that fits into what they do. How'd they pull that off? I had a bunch of GMs texting me like, what the hell? Like that's all they had to give up to get Jared McCain, 1 first-round pick. I understand Philly's got Quentin Grimes in that spot. Maybe you don't need Jared McCain long-term. I don't know, whatever their reasoning was. But for Oklahoma City, that's a huge win. You get another, how old is he? He can't be more than 21, 22. I don't know how old he is. 6'3", combo guard. For nothing. For nothing. You get him for nothing. It's unbelievable. They need a draft pick. They get him for absolutely nothing. That was a huge win for Oklahoma City.
And it's a huge win for their social media program.
Yeah, well, that's true. TikTok's about to. No, the thing that makes it to me the most shocking is that another team didn't want to do that. You know what I mean? That's what's a little bit more shocking because this. Call me crazy here, but if a fully healthy Thunder team is going into the playoffs, I don't know how much McCain is even playing.
True. He could be in those Aaron Wiggins types.
I would rather have Aaron Wiggins out there because I just think I love Aaron Wiggins' game, and I think McCain's a good player. Don't get me wrong, but like his defensive deficiencies and just he's still figuring out himself as he comes back from his injury. So this might be more of a next year play more than even it is a this year. Or if they're not healthy enough. They're always
thinking the next 10 years.
So no, I'm not.
He's the next AJ Mitchell.
I am not diminishing it. I'm just actually saying I think it's a good trade. But I'm just surprised that another team who needed something more like this didn't say, hey, like, I don't know, it's like the 26 Rockets pick is going to be a late 20s pick. Some seconds, like, hey, I get a guy on a rookie stale contract who
looked like the Rookie of the Year last year.
The first 20-some-odd games. Front runner.
Yeah, why not? Why not do that? So again, I hear you completely. I think it's a very
and look, and they can turn around. Like Lou Dort's got a team option on his contract next year. You can pick up that option, trade him, and still have AJ Mitchell and now Jared McCain,
Isaiah Joe.
I mean, a whole bunch of guys. Like they used the word optionality in an earlier video. Like that's what they've got. Like, you can just be like, what do we want to do with all these pieces? I think McCain has the potential to be a star. Like, I loved what I saw from him last year. And you get him for 1 first-round pick that's probably going to be in the 20s. That is highway robbery. Highway robbery for a player like that, I'm telling you. Good job, Oklahoma City.
Hit subscribe for more news, highlights, and analysis from the NBA on NBC.